hiccups here and there. Okay, so Alhamdulillah, all of you have managed to go through that. And all the best for your endeavors, inshallah. Everything will be smooth sailing for you, inshallah. Okay, so like Sister Amy mentioned earlier about the traces study, just to do a quick, I would say, a quick survey among yourself. How many of you have heard about traces study before? If you have heard about it, you can write down yes at the check box. If you haven't heard about it, it's okay. Just write no at the check box. I just want to have the quick overview about your awareness on traces study. Okay. Lagi?
I buat poll.
No. Apa dia, Doktor?
I buat poll for you.
Oh, okay, sure, Doctor. But I haven't seen any words of yes at the moment. Okay. It's okay. I was expecting the response. Dah macam agak dah macam mesti tak pernah dengar trace study. But it's okay. I think this is a good opportunity and it's a good platform for us to give more awareness on the traces study itself. See? Okay.
Luckily, we have this sharing session.
Sorry, Doctor?
Luckily, we have this sharing session.
Alhamdulillah. Alhamdulillah. Okay, majority of you, I would say 100% of you haven't heard about this before. It's okay. Because I think this is the purpose of we are meeting here, despite of your, weekends, selalunya akan spend time dengan family, kan? So Alhamdulillah. Okay, now just a little bit introduction about traces study. This is just a quick sharing lah. Okay, previously before graduates are about to get their convocation rope, kan? Kalau diorang nak ambil rope tu, they have to answer this kind of survey, so they have to print it out after they completed the survey. They have to print out the evidence of the completion of the survey. Only then they can collect the rope. So selalunya sebelum ni, before this, there's no there's no issues about the response rate of the survey. Everything went well because people are excited. Students, graduates are excited to go for convocation, kan? Nak ambil rope, nak tangkap gambar dengan kawan-kawan, dengan family members, that kind of thing. But last year and also this year, we are having this kind of challenges because convocation will not be done this year, unfortunately. Okay, but inshallah next year we're going to have 3 times of convocation. Okay, the batch of 2020, batch of 2021, and also the batch of 2022. So macam tahun depan ni memang akan jadi macam wow, UAE ni akan jadi memang pesta konvo lah kiranya. So, but it's okay, no problem. But come back to our issue and come back to our concern today is more about graduate employability. I just want to share with you again, like Sister Aini mentioned before, this survey, it is not being done by UIA only. This the whole Malaysia. I mean, all universities in Malaysia, IPTA, IPTS, Polytechnic, College Community, semualah sebenarnya. Okay, TVET pun termasuk juga. So because this survey is being conducted by MOHI, okay, Ministry of Higher Education. So it is compulsory to all graduates actually. It is not like, kenapa nak jadi compulsory? Bukan penting pun. That kind of perceptions. But for your information, I will be sharing with you guys why this traces study is important for your own future and also your other juniors' future, inshallah. Okay, all right. So, why traces study is important? Kenapa agak-agak? So the first thing is that, have you heard about universities ranking? Pernah tak kalau macam tahun-tahun lepas kan, we all macam terdengar, oh UIA nombor 12, oh we are top 10, we are top 5, and you have heard about UKM, UPM always I would say, apa orang kata, menguasai apa ya orang panggil perkataan lead. Okay, thank you Akmal. Lead the other public universities because there are research universities. Okay, but do you know that last year UIA is the first one? Is the first one in terms of ranking, but from the bottom. So maksudnya kita the lowest one, okay, in terms of graduate employability. Maksudnya student kita ke tak? So kalau if it is based on data, I would say yes. Nak cakap ni student kita tak laku. But for your information, like Sister Aini mentioned before, me, myself and also brother Afi, we always engage with companies and we always get good feedbacks from companies saying that our students are very good, our students are performing well when they work in certain companies, they are looking more for talents from IUM. But you know, the data that we got from Mohi and also the data and also the news that we got from companies are not really in line. Kan, dia tak ngam, dia tak sama. Okay, but how can we improve on that? So I think based on our current discussions, we found out that maybe some of our students or our graduates are not really aware of the literature study itself and don't really know on how to answer it well. Macam kita lah, kita biasa jawab survey kan, macam alah asal jawab lah, last nanti hantar juga, you know, that kind of perceptions. Okay, but insyaAllah, I hope that 44 of us here will get something out of our session today, and insyaAllah we indirectly will improve our okay, alright. And also for your information, literature study itself is the results from literature study is being used for academic review. Contohlah, kalau you all pernah dengar dekat USIM, they have this kind of course called as Quran Sunnah. Same with us. We do have that kind of course kan dekat bawah hierarchy kan. But why do some companies are looking forward to hire more from graduates from USIM? Padahal sama je kan. Lagi-lagi kita pun sebenarnya being acknowledged by the best theology course kan around the world kan untuk hierarchy kan. So kita rasa nak diorang cari USIM. So do you know that USIM, based on literature study result, they review back their academic, and what they did was they combined and they review and implement the demands that is demanded by companies. Contoh, demands from companies, they need a person or graduate who are excel in multimedia, excel in digital marketing, excel in technology, you know. So by having Quran Sunnah, in Quran Sunnah, knowledge in Quran Sunnah, and plus advantage of that, their students are minoring in digital marketing. So rugilah student kita yang nampak macam alah apa kita tinggi-tinggi CGPA semua kan, tapi kita kurang dari segi skill yang demanded by companies. So that's how they review the academic curriculum. So it's very unfortunate kalau kita tak gunakan approach yang sama. Okay, but this is more on the top management punya decision making lah. Okay, but on students part nanti kita akan discuss in detail. Okay, so insyaAllah I'll be sharing some of the results, if I may, Dr. Fatimah. I'll be sharing some of the results from 2020, meaning that your previous seniors. Okay, so macam ni akan nak tunjukkan result dulu, and then how actually can we improve in terms of the result itself, okay, for this year. Okay, I'll try to share my screen. Okay, rasanya boleh nampak kan?
Boleh.
Okay, good, Alhamdulillah. Okay, so this is actually the results from Tracer Study 2020. Okay, like Aimee has mentioned before, this is conducted by Mohi. The purpose of getting to know your status of employment, whether you are employed or not. Okay, so basically tracer study, it has about 100 questions. Tapi kita akan tunjukkan yang bahagian mana yang penting sebenarnya. So standard questions are about the demography, the graduate employability itself, entrepreneurship, the facilities, the academic curriculum, and so on. Okay, alright. So now when we talk about tracer study, there are two things that is being the main concern of MOHE. Okay, so the first one is response rate. Okay, so the response rate is started when the system is open, which is now. We've opened the system up until 31st of December. Okay, and then in January until 28th of February, we'll be focusing on graduate employability. So meaning that during the first phase, waktu response rate ni lah, kita nak galakkan students untuk jawab dulu. Walaupun you belum bekerja ataupun dah bekerja, it is better for you to respond first. Okay, jangan tunggu-tunggu. Alah kak, saya baru habis belajar bulan 10 tapi tak dapat kerja lagi. Saya nak jawab ke? Jawab je dulu walaupun you belum bekerja lagi. Why? Because during the second phase, you can just update your employment status. Okay? Alright, so we talk about response rate. How many graduates are responding to this survey? Okay, now, so as you can see here, UIA is the number 18. Okay, out of 20 public universities. Okay, now, kalau kita tengok yang the grey part is more on the overall. Overall meaning that includes UG, PG, Malaysians, international. Okay, tapi so maksudnya response rate kita was 77.2, meaning that kita adalah the second lowest sebenarnya. Okay, but if we look at the yellow column, okay, yellow column ni lebih kepada warga negara sahaja. Okay, we managed to get 88%. So meaning that we identified that yes, because we have about 30% of international students, we actually face some kind of challenges to contact them back once they graduated. Sebab tu kita punya response rate adalah rendah. Okay, tapi bukan nak salahkan, tapi maksudnya awareness tu kena start daripada awal sebelum diorang grad lagi. Okay, so alhamdulillah we managed to get 88%. Okay, now, so based on the response rate according to kuliah, KENMS kat mana? Okay, KENMS kat mana? So unfortunately, okay, if we compare among the other kuliahs, KENMS the winner lah. Okay, yang winner yang khusus sekali with 64.2%. Tapi kalau kita tengok number of graduates ada dalam 600 juga lah, almost 700. Okay, so mungkin dalam 400 je yang jawab tracer study. So insyaAllah with this platform, I hope that you will give you will encourage your other friends to answer this survey insyaAllah after we end our session today. Okay, so based on the response rate, meaning that based on 64.2%, we categorize them according to their graduate employability. Kita tengok pula sama ada diorang ni bekerja ataupun tidak. Okay, daripada 94. Do you know why? Because I believe that some of the students who didn't respond to this survey, actually they are employed. Itu yang sebenarnya mempengaruhi GE. Okay, kadang-kadang yang jawab ni belum kerja. Tapi yang dah kerja tu macam, alah, buat apa nak buat sebab aku dah kerja pun. But you have to know that once you employed, you can improve the percentage of the graduate employability for your own kuliah. Okay, alright. So next, we'll talk about GE. Okay, graduate employability, the second phase of tracer study. There you go. Your A is the lowest one. Okay, nombor yang ke-20. If you look here, we only managed to get 74.2. Okay, for your information, graduate employability and only focusing on Malaysians and undergraduate. Kita tak fokus kepada PG, kita tak fokus kepada international students. Okay, so kalau you all tengok kat sini, UPNM the highest one with 55% of them being employed. Okay, so ini if we compare to the other universities lah. Okay, for your information, kalau siapa-siapa yang ada adik, kan, before they register for UPU, do you know that this result appear before they enter the universities that they are interested in? Maksudnya ada some parents kan, dia call balik UIA, dia tanya, betul ke UIA nombor 20? Saya baru nak hantar anak saya masuk UIA. There you go. So it's actually reflecting our image. Okay. So that's why I believe that UIA is really producing good talents, good graduates, but it doesn't appear in the system. It doesn't appear in the data. So it's very unfortunate lah. Okay. So hope that inshallah next year we won't appear as the lowest one again. Tapi insyaAllah we will do better insyaAllah. Yes, people can say that lah Kak, ni semua data je. Yes, but people are referring to this data. So kita kena ikutlah arus perdana tu. Okay, alright, so this is the result for GE for last year. Okay, kalau if we compare GE, graduate employability according to kuliah, again unfortunately KNMS below 80%. Okay, so that's why I think that most of them who already work, they didn't respond to the survey. If they did, the employability rate will be higher. Okay, but it's okay insyaAllah. Nanti kita tengok kenapa. Ini dah lepas kan, nanti kita fokus on the next one. So these are the reasons of unemployment. Ada yang tak berminat nak bekerja, memang memilih tak bekerja, that kind of thing. Okay, nanti I skip this one first. Okay, this is graduate employability performance for KNMS across 5 consecutive years. Kita nak tengok 5 tahun kebelakangan ni macam mana kita punya response rate and graduate employability. Okay. Okay, for 400 plus responded. Okay, I skip this one lah. Okay, so if we look here, about 70% of our students be employed. So meaning that only 7 out of 10 of our graduates are employed. Okay, from KNMS. As we compare from last year, we managed to get 86.9%. So tinggi tu sebenarnya untuk econs. So dia 16.5% menurun. Okay, decrease of the percentage with 16.5%. So I would say that's quite huge. The decreased number of the percentage. Okay, so if we compare according to departments, so alhamdulillah, accounting students are doing well, okay, with 80%. So my concern is more on the Islamic finance students and also business administrative business administration students. Okay, but throughout my discussion with KNMS previously with Deputy Dean, Student Affairs, with Deputy Dean Academies and some of HODs, so alhamdulillah we identified certain things to improve the percentage of BBA. But for Islamic finance, I would say it's more on the awareness. Kan Dr. Fatimah macam kita discuss sebelum ni lah. Okay, because BBA actually they are employed once they registered their assessment like SSM number for entrepreneurship subject. So sebenarnya benda tu dah kira sebagai employed. Okay, so itulah Islamic finance for already managed to get 58.7. Okay. Now, kita tengok the 5 consecutive years. Okay, Islamic finance number 5. I didn't arrange that according to according to the lowest and the highest. It's just that Islamic finance memang saya letak nombor 5, bukan untuk bermaksud tak tahun tu paling rendah, tak. So ini untuk compare, orang kata in horizontally. Kan kalau nak tengok. Okay, kalau kita tengok 2016 below 60, okay, 2 times below 60 actually, 2016 and also 2020, 2 kali. Okay, below, just above 60, 2 kali juga. Okay, tahun lepas je above 70. Okay, so insyaAllah for 2021, above 80. InsyaAllah kan Dr. kan? Okay, so this is the rough idea. I think we don't have really much time to go further on this. Nanti later on, insyaAllah, if I manage to get a time for KBS, Kuliah-Based Society, I would really love to see them and explain more about this, insyaAllah.
Sorry, the PE, that the one that obtained the job or the one that have answered the survey?
Get the job.
Or get the job. Okay.
Ni GE doctor, GE according to departments.
Okay.
Thank you doctor. Yang response rate tu kira dah ni lah dah lepas, kita fokus kat GE je dulu. Okay. Now this is the analysis for KNMS as a whole. 3 out of 4 of them are have identified that they work in within the same field that they are specializing in. Okay, and I would say here, majority of them are working in private sector. If we zoom in according to the types of sectors in private sectors, okay, majority of them is going for local sector. Okay, so next is multinational companies. I think in almost all of my sharing, I would really encourage graduates to go for multinational companies because they are offering for good offer for you, and also based on economic situations at the moment, kan private sector ni sangat affected lah. Tapi if you go for multinational companies, they can offer you much better, insyaAllah. Okay. Okay, next. I think doctor, you can skip this one. What I just want to stress on here is that you have so much potential, actually. And again, I think that it is more on the awareness of answering the questions. Okay, but for the moment, I just want you guys to open up your ideas, open up your mind that these results being presented in university level. Sorry, sekejap. Sorry. Okay. Now, dah pukul 9 dah kan? Alright. So we have already touched about the introduction of choice study. Okay, and then kita dah pergi kepada the results of the choice study. Okay, you already see the percentage of your own kuliah, and to be specific, your own departments. Okay, so that I hope that can open up your ideas about the current situation. And now I just want to share with you about the choice study, because I believe that you have our students nowadays, they are very creative in terms of apa orang kata Allah, sorry
Faham okey je.
tak habis lagi, hari tu macam dah okey sikit. Okay, where were we? Okay, about the tracer study. So now at the moment, we still open the system for the students to apply. So Alhamdulillah, doctor, for your information, on 17th of November, we actually proposed a paper for UMC, in UMC meeting, Doctor. So Alhamdulillah, we got an endorsement saying that tracer study is being is acknowledged by UMC members to be one of the requirements for clearance. So meaning that all of you are here. If you want to do your clearance, if there's any one of you who haven't got your transcript, you have to answer tracer study first and then print that for acknowledgement. Only then you can apply for your transcript. So dia dah jadi compulsory dah lah. Okay, so because sebelum ni for clearance it is not compulsory for you to answer tracer study. It will be compulsory for you to collect your rope for convocation ceremony. Sekarang dia dah ubah dah. Okay. Okay, now tracer study. So you can click on this link. Okay, graduate Mohe GOV my SKPG 1. Okay, SKPG is actually stands for Sistem Kajian Pengesanan Graduan. SKPG. Okay, this is actually tracer study lah dalam English. Okay, so just log in tracer study. Okay, and then write down your IC number without any dash. Okay, contohlah 8909 berapa tak ada dash. Terus je nombor without any spaces. Okay, and then click nama institusi as University Islam Malaysia. Okay, here you can log in, you can change the interface to English version. Kalau nak Malay boleh, kalau nak English pun boleh, tak ada masalah. It is dual language. Okay, and then put your IC number. Okay, so number 3, type University Islam Antarabangsa Malaysia, not International Islamic University Malaysia. Okay, UIAM, not AIUM. Orang selalu confused. Even Grab driver pun confused. You nak pergi UIA ke you nak pergi IUM? You easily confused. Okay, and then click submit to enter the survey. Okay, so this is the first page that you will see for this particular area. Okay, Aimi boleh tolong angkat tak? Kalau you boleh tolong type cat HTTP ni dekat chat box. Share dengan kawan-kawan. Okay, boleh? Sorry ya, tolong Aimi. Okay, thank you. Alright, so nanti you all boleh masuk lah. You all boleh masuk and then you boleh terus jawab kalau you nak jawab. Okay, so this is the details. Okay, so now this is the important part of the tracer study. So there will be 7 sections all together in tracer study. Alamak Kak, 7 bahagian tu 7 sections banyaknya. Saya tak sempat lah nak isi sebab saya dah kerja. I do understand your concerns, but for your information, these 7 subsections, not all are compulsory for you. Not all are relevant for you. Okay, now let's take a look one by one. For bahagian A, okay, only requires you to give your details on your demographic. So tak lama pun demographic, sekejap je. Okay, and then bahagian B, section B, status pekerjaan terkini, your current status. There will be only one question for bahagian B. It's simple. It's either you employed or unemployed. Okay, so if you are employed, you have to answer section C. Okay, only section C. But if you are not employed, it's either you have to fill in, you have to complete section D or section E. Meaning that section C, you will skip that section because you are not employed. Okay, and then the compulsory one, section F, okay, pengalaman semasa ujian. So it is more related to your university's courses, curriculum, teaching, facilities, macam tu je, simple one. Okay, and at the end of the session, which is section G, is more on the consent, only one section. So meaning that out of 7 sections, you will only have to answer 4 sections. Okay, relatable to yourself, meaning it's either section C, D, or E, depending to your employment status. Okay, so all in all, tak sampai pun dalam 100 soalan. So tak sampai pun 10 minit sebenarnya untuk you jawab. Okay, for the moment, any questions so far? Tak ada, I can just skip. Okay, after this, doktor, saya akan fokus kepada yang bahagian bekerja dan tak bekerja. Okay, ni nak dapatkan overall overview dia dulu. Okay, so these are the sections. Okay, so nanti you akan klik seterusnya, next. Okay, so after you completed the survey, this is how the page will look like. This is the page that you have to screenshot. This is the page that you have to keep for your own evidence, for your own record purposes. Okay, so you have to check back all the details. Okay, kalau ada improvement ke apa-apa, you can email me at tracerstudy@ium.edu.my. Okay, so this is the section B that I've mentioned before, the only one section. If you look here, they ask you whether you already work full-time basis, or you work as a part-time basis, or you haven't worked, or what we call as unemployed. Okay, if you tick bekerja sepenuh masa ataupun bekerja separuh masa, straight away you will answer part C. Okay, if you haven't worked or if you are unemployed, it's either you will go for section D or section E. Okay, we akan skip section C, so tak semua. Okay, now this is actually the definition of employed. This is actually the gist of our discussion today. Okay, employed. Okay, selalunya student akan rasa macam, oh, kalau aku dapat kerja full time, aku ada offer letter, I have to work 8 to 5, I have to work on weekdays, you know, semua tu baru dikira bekerja. No. Yes, a part of it, yes. But for your information, if you are doing part-time work, part-time jobs are also considered as employed. Okay, so Akak, what is the definition of part-time work? Okay, of part-time jobs. So the first one is you work less than 35 hours in a week. Okay, itu dikira sebagai part-time. Tak kisahlah pagi ke, malam sahaja ke, on the weekdays or on the weekends sahaja ke. So meaning that, say for example, if you work 10 hours in a week, also considered as employed. You dapat gaji, employed. Okay, walaupun rasa macam, alah Kak biasa-biasa je kerja, that one is also considered as employed. Okay, now have you heard about gig economy? Siapa kat sini pernah dengar gig economy? If there is one of you have heard about gig economy, you can type down yes. If you haven't heard about gig economy, you can type no in the chat box. Ini saja je, chatting je. Okay, good, Lukman. Okay, I need. What about the others? Gig economy. Okay, baru dua aja. What about freelancing or freelancers? Ashraf Wajidi? Okay. What about freelancers? Have you heard about freelancers or freelancing? Good, I mean. Okay, so meaning that some of you might heard about freelancing. For your information, freelancers are considered as gig economy. So meaning that kalau lah kan kita ada kawan-kawan kita ataupun yang buat Grab Food, Food Panda, personal shopper, okay, freelancer. Freelancer could be, say for example, you are a tutor or you are a translator or you are a graphic designer, okay, untuk buat logo, as simple as that, or you are a proofreader or you are a research assistant, okay, all of them considered as employed. But you have to, I would say that, report it down in the system. Okay, nanti kan, say for example, alah kak tak nak lah, kita ni buat food panda biasa-biasa je, tak nak lah nak declare dekat dalam survey. I would say if you ask me, it is better for you to just write it down. Okay, what are your current job? It is okay, no problem. Because in January and until February, we will encourage you guys to review or re-update your employment status. Okay, contohlah macam sekarang ni, macam alah tak nak lah bagi dulu kak, no problem, it's okay. Okay, you can update it later, your employment status. Okay, now kak, macam mana kalau saya kerja dengan family, tolong macam mak jual-jual kuih ke ataupun jaga anak orang ke kan, tapi saya tak dapat gaji pun. Yes, actually you are still considered as employed. Okay, it falls under family business. I'm sure that even though you are not directly gain ataupun earn the salary, but at least contoh mak akan hulur something, it is also considered you are employed because you are giving your energy, you are giving your commitments to that job. Okay, it is considered as employed. Okay, so far any questions? Contohlah ada buat dropship. Okay, walaupun orang kata macam alah kak, saya buat basa-basi je, target basa-basi je, tak ada masalah. Contoh buat dropship, buat memasak, kan? Ataupun ada tu up sendiri, Norwex kan? Ataupun up sikit Sobela kan? Apa lagi Sabela lah, macam-macam kan? So that one is also considered as employed. So meaning that just declare your employability status even though you feel that alah kak tak sama lah, tak relate lah dengan course yang saya ambil, it is okay. Like I mentioned before, in January until February, you can re-update your employment status. Okay, for the moment je, at least just declare whatever that you do, whatever that you are doing in a moment. Okay, now what about unemployed? Okay, once you think that you are unemployed, okay, say for example, waiting for placement, furthering study, improving skills. Under this category, it is called as unemployed. But do you know that the definition by Mohi, waiting for placement, furthering studies, improving skill is also considered as employed. Okay, I'll show you. Aku tunjuk sekejap. Apa orang kata ni? Survey. Boleh nampak ke ini? Excel sheet.
Boleh sister. Boleh nampak.
Boleh dah? Okay, so this is actually the, I would say that the soft copy of the survey. Contoh kalau you all tengok kat website tu tak nampak lah macam ni, tapi this is the Excel version. Okay, so basically the introduction will be like this. Okay, so meaning that you have to answer, these are the introductory, okay, these are the instructions, these are the purpose of the study, you know. Okay, now, lambat lah pula. Okay, so let's move to the first part. Okay, these are the part A, the first part. Okay, it will ask you about your demographic background. So, metric number, name. Okay, it's a very basic one. Okay, warga negara, tak warga negara. Okay, for those who have disability, there will be a question for that also. Okay, so some information about your study, CGPA and all. Okay, whether you get scholarship or not. Ni tik je nanti. Tak adalah macam you nak kena type banyak. Okay, so about demographic background, about your allowances, internship. Okay, for information, internship is very, very crucial because I've already shown Dr. Fatimah about the results from your previous seniors and how does internship influence or affect the graduate employability of the students. So please be transparent on this and please be what we call as very thorough lah untuk share about internship. Okay, so they will ask about the allowances. If you got any allowances, all those informations are included in demographic part. Okay, so jangan skip lah, memang tak boleh skip. Next is current employment status, current job status. Like I mentioned before, for this part B, only ask one question, whether you are employed or unemployed. Okay, they already mentioned about the definition. Okay, like I mentioned before, if you are unemployed, but you are going for the, you are waiting for the job placement. Say for example, like medical students, dentistry students, they are waiting for housemanship placement, kan? Ataupun education, dia orang tengah tunggu SPP tapi sebenarnya memang dia orang akan diserap sebagai cikgu. So meaning that they are employed even though they haven't got any placement yet. Dia orang tak dapat tempat kat mana lagi tapi indirectly sebenarnya dia ada considered as employed. Okay, if you are intentioning to further your study, is also considered as employed actually, even though it falls under unemployed. Okay, nanti akan tunjuk macam mana kenapa dikira sebagai employed. Okay, so this is only the question for section B. So meaning that if you take bekerja sepenuh masa, you akan terus masuk kepada part C. Okay, kalau you belum bekerja, you akan terus kepada part D. Okay, skip lah part C tu. Okay, now usually for your information, usually some students they have the intention to tick unemployed sebab dia rasa, alah, kalau aku jawab employed ni nanti banyak sangat soalan aku nak jawab. This is a very very wrong perception. So if you think that way, again and again, please be reminded that it will affect your percentage for your own kuliah. To be specific on yourself lah. So nanti macam, alamak, kita tak jujur lah sebenarnya dalam data. Okay, and if you are employed, it's okay. Not many questions actually being asked for employed. Okay, ada bahagian yang kita boleh skip. Okay, now, so this is section C, if you are employed. Okay, so they will ask you about contractor, sementara basis, nanti you akan tick je, bukan kena tulis balik. Okay, so these are the sectors. Okay, this one about SSM. If you don't have any SSM or if you don't have any business under your own name, tak perlulah, skip lah bahagian ni. Okay, but for BBA students, and if you're taking entrepreneurship subject, and actually I was informed that those who are taking entrepreneurship, they already registered the SSM. Kan? So maksudnya indirectly memang you dah employed lah. Walaupun you rasa macam, alah kak, saya tak aktif pun buat business tu. Tak ada masalah. Just declare that in the system. Okay, so automatically you are considered as employed. Okay. So these are the questions for entrepreneurship skills. Dia akan tanyalah, ada dapat bantuan ke daripada mana-mana, berapa modal. Okay. Tapi nanti tak banyak pun, kita ada skip je. Okay. So these are questions about working in a field. It is related with your program. So nanti you akan jawab lah bahagian ni. Okay. So this is the things that I want to focus on. If you think that you are unemployed, okay, but if you tick menunggu penempatan, furthering study, upskilling program, attending short courses, actually these reasons are reported as employed by MOHI. Faham tak? Maksudnya kat sini, contohlah adik-adik, if you are really unemployed, But at the same time, you are taking short courses available in Coursera ke, Udemy ke, okay, or else you are taking advanced Microsoft Excel for finance students, you know, that kind of things. Please take attending short courses here. Okay, sebenarnya benda ni percentage ni dah carry forward dah, sebenarnya you are considered as bukanlah considered as employed, tapi maksudnya MOHI or Minister of Higher Education consider that you have the efforts to upskill yourself. So that's very important for Minister of Finance. Minister of Higher Education. Okay, say for example you are going for language courses, pun please declare yourself here. Walaupun kata alah kak online courses je yang ikut masa kita lah bila kita nak buat, tak ada masalah, just declare what you are doing at the moment. Okay.
What if, let's say, okay, the students too, he or she is undergoing for internship 6 months kan, but UIA punya requirement only 3 months. So actually bila dah 3 months, dah exit 3 months tu, dia dah status dia dah go for graduate students lah. But sebenarnya dia still doing the internship because of the 6 months tu. So can he or she take the attending short courses tu ke, or can?
I would say, doctor, if they got the allowances, it is considered as part-time.
Oh, part-time. Oh, atas tadi lah.
Exactly.
So boleh lah you guys, if let's say you still under internship, but you have graduated kan, because requirement with DOF only 3 months, then you can go to part-time.
Betul.
Okay.
Part-time basis. And then you can mention about the companies that you are going for your internship. And that part, okay, kalau kita tengok balik dekat part-time tu, dia akan tanya pasal, they will ask about the mana tadi, kejap ya. Okay, taraf pekerjaan. Okay, so you mention about this pekerja, but taraf pekerjaan adalah pekerja sambilan. Okay, pekerja sambilan. And then they will ask you about these things. So jawatan, you can mention that intern. Intern dalam bahasa Melayu,
industri.
Pelatihan industri. Okay, so boleh lah sebenarnya. Okay, for your information, that's very tricky here. They ask about whether majikan or freelancer. Okay, majikan meaning that, self-employed. Employer and self-employed. Alamak, apa beza je? Kalau kita employer, meaning that kita self-employed lah. Okay, for information, self-employed meaning that you on your own. Meaning that you don't have any employee under you. Itu self-employed. But if you are employer, meaning that you have at least one employee under you. Contoh IB, you ada macam buat bisnes buat bisnes kecil-kecilan lah biasa. Contoh macam you jual shawl kan, contoh. It is not drop shipping tapi your own product. And then you baru start biasa-biasa je. And then you just macam ajak another kawan. Contohlah macam Sarah, do you want to be my partner? Boleh tak kalau you jual tapi you akan dapat commission itu dikira employer. Because you have one staff under you. But if you are on your own, seorang-seorang je yang buat business tu, it is considered as self-employed. Okay? Alright. Good question, Doctor. Thank you very much. Sebab ada student yang lebih extra months.
Atas kejap, yang I notice about the company there. Mana? Ada list of companies ke apa? This one. Mana?
Oh, yang tadi tu. Ini ke?
Tas. Ni apa ni?
Oh, this one is called for scholarship, Doctor.
Oh, scholarship.
So nanti student ataupun graduate akan tick mana-mana yang relevan.
Okay.
But for employment status, they have to write down what is the name of the company that they are working in. Tapi ini lebih kepada scholarship lah. Okay. Any other questions from the graduates?
Hello, Assalamualaikum. I have one question.
Mhm.
So as for me, I have extend my internship to 8 months. So at the same time, I also have my own business. So which one I have to take, the part-time or the full-time? Because as you said, the internship is part-time, and then business is like full-time, right? So which one?
So if that's the case, usually we focus on the long term. Okay, long term meaning that if you are self-employed, that one is more convincing as compared to interns that you have your limit for that particular position. Okay, so me myself, if you ask me, I would say I will take for self-employed and give my details of my business, the detail of my business. Tapi kalau yang untuk internship tu, I would say you can declare that in the section for internship, yang bahagian demografi. Sekejap.
But then kalau self-employed, do they need to have SSM? Kalau tak ada macam mana?
Biasanya kena ada doktor walaupun online business. Tapi kalau tak ada just in case macam alamak kat nanti kantai pula kan. I would say if you have any other option, contoh macam part time tu, jawab yang part time tu lah. Kita tak nak macam perangkap diri lah kiranya. Okay, but to ask Akmal's questions, I would say I would go for the most convincing one, which is self-employed as compared to internship. So this is for demographic background, but it asks you about the details of your information of study. So it touches also about the internship. Sekejap sorry. Ini question number 17. Okay, internship. And then you can write it here. So more than 6 months. Okay, so where? So you can write it down in this section. But for employment status, I'll go for self-employment. Okay, Akmal, I hope I answered your question.
Okay, thank you.
You're most welcome. Any other questions from the graduates?
Sister Adila, I have a question. If I'm still applying for my internship placement, so once I've got the internship placement, can I already answer the survey? Or once I reported the first day to intern, is only that I can answer the survey?
Okay, thank you so much. I mean, good question. For your information, the process is like this. Once you graduated, meaning that you already got the GR status, okay, usually kuliah will send your name to Ahmad to get the endorsement from Senate. Okay, once your status is changed from active to GR, okay, and then after that, Ahmad will upload your data in the system. So maksudnya kat sini, kalau you punya status masih lagi aktif, not yet GR, meaning that you cannot access to the system. Okay, so meaning that if you are still final year students, you haven't completed your final semester, unfortunately, maybe next year, baru you boleh dapat masuk sistem.
Okay, clear.
Okay,
So I have to check first lah before I answer the survey, right?
Exactly.
All right. Thank you, Sister Adila.
And you're most welcome. And for information, those already graduated in October, if I'm not mistaken, your data is already uploaded in the system. But for your information, just recently, Ahmad has done the third endorsement. That information, if I'm not mistaken, about 100 over graduates, those names haven't being uploaded in the system. Just in case you are one of them, who just got your endorsement changed as GR, I think you haven't got the chance to log into the system. But if that case happen, you can just email me at mana? Email akak kat sini. Okay, you can just email me at adila.mnor@um.edu.my. Okay, if you haven't, if you couldn't access to the system. Okay, any other questions about employability status? Senang kan? And then they will ask you about your salary. Approximately, your salary is actually including your allowances. Kadang-kadang ada basic kan, lepas tu ada allowances. So meaning that your gross income lah. Okay, and then, okay, this part. Once you declare that you are unemployed, you will go for this section, whether you are furthering study or not. Okay. If you say, for example, you just graduated in October, but you already gotten the offer letter. But based on the offer letter, it stated that you can enroll to the course only in February 2022. So macam mana Kak Dila? Macam mana saya nak kena buat? The answer is, you are still considered as furthering study because you already got the offer letter, even though you haven't entered the course yet. So please declare, okay, your details for your master's level ke, ataupun yang terus buat fast track ke PhD ke pun boleh, tak ada masalah. Okay, alright. So once you got the offer letter, that's it. Kira belajar. Walaupun you still, alamak Kak, bulan 2 lambat lagi, entah dapat kerja ke Disember ni, tak ada masalah. For the moment, just declare that you are furthering your study. Okay, because furthering study is also considered employed sebenarnya under the definition of, okay. So these are the level of study, okay, field of study. So if you for field of study, so you are under this one, okay, science, social, businesses and law. So this also the scholarship for furthering study. Okay. So dia akan tanyalah sebab apa, main reason dan semua. Okay, second last, sorry, section F. Evaluation of program services offered by your institution. Okay, for the moment yang ni tak ada isu sangat lah sebenarnya. So just they want to know about your opinion, perception on the curriculum as a whole. Okay, they will ask about whether the application, the practical part, okay, about the industrial training. So make sure you bagi lebih lah, bagi 9 lah full mark kat sini sebab Dr. Fatimah ada kat sini. Okay, alright, so they also ask about the evaluation system, whether you are happy with the assessment given by your lecturers. Okay, the lecturers, you will also assess the lecturers, okay, the facilities. So ini the basic one lah. Okay, about bimbingan kerjaya, counselling. So ini is reflecting to us. So that's why we Counseling Career Services Center, CCSC, is tending to extend our services to reach more students in the campus, inshallah. Okay, so the overall, last but not least, this one, part G, only one question. This is just for consent. Okay, whether you are agree or not to share about your information to the third party. Okay, so that's all. That's the end of the tracer study. It's very simple. Okay, senang saja. The tricky part is actually the employability status. That's all. Because students usually dia kata macam, alah kak saya ni kerja sekejap je dekat butik ni, alah kak sekejap je saya jadi transporter. Itu that one is also considered as freelancing. Okay. So any other questions? Ini tadi. Tak ada soalan dah. Alamak, hang. All right. So any other questions from the floor? Tak ada dah, insyaAllah ni semua yang dah kerja insyaAllah. Alhamdulillah. I was shocked at first because I thought you are the one of the politicians. Ashraf Wajdi. Alhamdulillah. Thank you Amin Farhan. Thank you Akmal. Thank you Ashraf.
Dekat Melaka sekarang.
Oh yeah.
Ashraf Wajdi.
Datuk madam.
Oh yang ni hebat jugalah. Future kami kot. Future endeavours nanti.
Wow, Alhamdulillah, insyaAllah. Amin, amin.
Amin.
Okay, Doctor, any other things from Department of Finance?
Alhamdulillah, so far clear from my side. Thank you so much, Sister Adila, for briefing to all my students regarding this. And I hope that all my students have understand clearly regarding how to answer the tracer study in order actually to promote juga lah KUIA at the same time. And then in order actually to gain accurate and reliable data lah kan. If let's say kita dah aware, the students have aware about these matters. Okay.
Just to share with you, Doctor. Oh, sorry to cut you down. Sorry, Doctor.
Tak apa. Dah settle apa tadi?
Oh, okay. So just relax sikit. Just for your information, Doctor, actually we received so many good feedbacks for Islamic finance students. Tahu?
Oh, Alhamdulillah.
Alhamdulillah. And sebenarnya Doktor, they are looking forward. Contohlah macam company kan, they are moving towards macam compliance punya syariah lah and so on and so forth kan. Dia akan cari macam, oh UIE. And actually they come to us macam, do you have any good talents? So kadang-kadang kita liaise dengan KBS, kadang-kadang kita bagi orang kata data yang kita ada untuk graduate students. Kita blast the information lah. Maksudnya bukan kita bagi you all email dengan phone number dekat company tu, tak. We blast the information about the opportunity to the data set that we have, to the database that we have. So students sendirilah yang apply. So Alhamdulillah, contoh macam EY, KPMG and the other banking sector as well are really happy with our graduates and they are looking forward more to hire talents from IUM. So that's why I think the data that we got last year is not really representing the whole graduates, the quality of graduates that we have. So I really hope for this year, like you mentioned before, Doctor, we have a good data set for the students. Kita bukanlah nak fokus pada data sahaja, tapi I would say that this is actually the baseline or the guideline for our academic curriculum and also the branding itself lah, I would say, to justify everything that you want to do.
Okay. Thank you so much, Adila. Back to you, Aimi.
Okay, thank you very much again, Sister Adila, for the insightful sharing session just now. I believe that everyone here now has a clearer picture on how to actually answer the tracer study, what needs to be declared, and to stay true to yourself when answering the survey. I hope everyone can follow Sister Adila's advice to immediately answer the tracer if you your status is GR, and encourage our KNMS friends and other peers as well to answer the survey, or you may have difficulties to have your transcript later. And so even though you might have graduated, we still have to play our part as a graduate to contribute to the IIUM's image, for IIUM to lead the way from the top, not from the bottom anymore. So thank you for everyone for your enthusiasm and questions. And thank you again for Sister Adila for your inputs, sharings, and information. May Allah bless you. So so brothers and sisters, before we end the event tonight, we would like to take everyone's picture here as a memory and to embody in our social media later. So I hope that everyone can turn on your camera and do not shy to put on your pretty faces and smiles. You can take time to open your camera. We have 2 pages.
Sorry, Amy, can I promote something here?
Sure.
I would really encourage you guys to follow our IG, IUM Career, and also our Telegram channel, Career for IUM Graduates, because we will share all the information that we got from companies, from the job vacancies, career opportunities, career fairs, and all in those our social media platforms. Okay. IUM Career for IG and Facebook, Career for IUM Graduates for Telegram.
Yeah, IG to actually I have promoted already, but the Telegram I don't have the link. Can you share the link later?
Sure, no problem. Here.
Terus jot down, nanti kau klik je, senang.
Oh alamak, saya tulis je tak ada link.
Nanti you all pandai lah.
Sorry. Career for IUM Graduates.
Alright.
Ataupun I'll share with Dr. Fatima later.
Okay. Oh, I think I saw someone opening the camera. You guys can open again. Photograph. Lukman.
Sofia, siapa lagi? Hairi, Hafiza. Mana you all ke ni? Touch.
Alah, boleh je.
Okey je Lukman. Lukman ni big boss. Big boss IMSC. Orang penting.
Okay. Kita ambil gambar. Okay, 1, 1, 2, smile. Okay. One more. Okay. Tap. One more. 1, 2, smile. Okay, thank you everyone.
Thank you.
Into tonight's event. So I think that's it for tonight. Marks the end of our session today. So again, I would like to invite you to follow Instagram, FSC IUM, and also CCFC IUM, and also the Telegram as well. And sorry for any shortcomings that come from my end. And I end the session with Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh and goodbye.
Assalamualaikum. Thank you, Amy. Thank you, Dr. Fatima. Assalamualaikum.
Amy and Thank
you, Sister Adila.
Thank
Thank you, Madam.
Assalamualaikum.
Okay, everyone.
Thank you, Madam. Thank you, Sister Adila.
Okay, I end the class. The class.
The way that I had stopped.